or whatever you want.
Okay, well, welcome everybody. We are here with Barbara to review all together these 12 systems, applying it to what each of us understand the most. So, Barbara from astrology, and from myself, why I use this the BioNeuroEmotion and coaching methods. So I understand these systems through that, and this is the way I'm going to explain it. As same as Barbara, she will explain it from the astrology. And well, today we start with the first system and the first zodiac sign, which is Aries. And I think the intention for both of us is that this tool is going to be useful for you in the way you feel that you understand it, right? Some people understand it through music, some through art, some to science. Um, so I think we want to share with you our perspective from this 12 system, applying it to what we know or what we apply or what we practice in our lives. Um, Before we start, we just with Barbara, we were saying that probably we just do a small meditation just to open and clear the space, the energies that we carry when we came here. Each one had their day, and so we everybody aligned to this moment, opening the space, allowing the higher self to guide us to what we need to really absorb and receive from this meeting all together, because we're here resounding as one, and everybody here is giving something to this network. So it's just we'll invite you to close your eyes if you feel it, put your hands in your heart, and give first three big deep breath, so we can clear the energies around us. Big breath. We can hold. Just imagine that this space here and now is opening for me, for my own good and for my own learning with all these people that is connecting right now with all of us. In each breath, put your intention of why you are here. What intention I put today in this meeting, absorbing this information, why I am here, what I'm looking for. With the next breath, we give thanks for this moment, for this tool, for each one of you, for all of us that is connecting in this moment with this information. And we ask our body, we ask our mind, and we ask our soul to be present and aligned today, to receive through our channel everything that we need to receive, to be practical, to manifest what we want to manifest through this system and through this energy of Aries that we're going to review today. And whenever you feel ready, you open your eyes and we can start with Barbara.
Thank you, thank you. Okay, I think everybody sees me. Yeah. Here we are again to dive again to the 12 system. I am going to share. I'm going to share. Say it again.
No, I think it was something there.
Okay. Let me see
Continue.
if I can mute.
I muted.
Okay. Okay. We are gonna do one by one. Sorry that I just went to the meditation. I'm kind of airy. We're going to do the 12 systems like we talk with Fifi one by one. We start with Aries. And we're going to see next ones if we're going to be able to do 2 systems at a time. We're going to check the timing because this is our first one. So this is kind of an experiment for us and a learning process as well, because we never worked together and we never thought this tool this way. So for us, it's also a learning with you guys. So thank you for being there. The other thing is, sorry, I'm having a I'm having a brain issue. So I'm gonna share the questions we're gonna have said first. I'm gonna talk about the astrology. Through the questions or through the process, I'm gonna open for some questions because I understand the astrology is a little bit intense and too much and sometimes confusing. So at the moment when I say, is there any question, that I say that a lot, is there any question for that subject, it's the time to raise your hand or put the question in the chat, or wait until the end. After me and after Fifi, we're going to open for questions. But in between my astrology part, I'm going to open for some questions specifically for the chart that is the most confusing thing at all. That's regarding that. I'm going to share the PDF that I created. Oops. Please let me know if you can see it.
Yes, we can see it.
Okay. Here we are. Back to the 12 system, back to 0. I'm gonna, because this is the first one, I'm gonna go back into some explanations again. We did with Fifi some other videos, one that it was very, very long, and I apologize. Then I realized that I didn't explain very well because I was a little bit tired of all the talk. So I did another one to explain more about the tool. And then Fifi and I had another video. No, we had a video about biology. So the point of this one is going to be a little bit longer and a little bit deeper. But in Taurus and Gemini and the followings, we're not going to go over this all the time. There are few slides and there are few pictures that they are going to always be on the talk of the constellation that we are talking, because it's the framework and it's like the reminder and the basic of the tool. But we're not going to go back to explaining and saying, Matias, today, November 15, channel the tool, this happened. So all that is on the other videos. So be patient with us. We're going to talk a little bit more in depth because it's our first one, to put a frame to what is coming in the next ones. So sorry if we're going to go over subjects again. Here we are. So when Matias explained on all the 4 gears and the people, is basically, let me see, let me get closer because I'm doing this through the phone. Fifi created this template to work, and it's exactly what you see here on top about the people, the biological system, the concepts, and the astrology. Is put it in here. You're gonna see. This is for the people that didn't watch didn't see the other videos or were not present on the other videos. So you have the astrology part here, the concepts are going to be here, the biological system, and then the astrology part that is all this here. So basically astrology, biology, this is the person, that is something that you have to connect with the tool and find after questioning yourself. And then the concepts of time and space, that is in between. I will show you this. If you see the concepts is in between the astrology and the biology, because it touches both systems. The elements are present in all the constellations. Like we talk about the biology and we talk about the elements and the alchemy that is coming. The elements are in both, in our body, in the cosmos, in the planet, and in everything around us. So these are all the concepts, and this is basically the tool that we're going to work with and we're going to talk about. So I always put this picture. The people that took many classes with me, they know this picture very well, and I keep posting because that's how it feels when you don't know astrology, even when you know astrology. There are so many layers, and there is so much information, and there is kind of complicated information that you need to put together, integrate, and interpret and get an idea what you're talking about. So it is kind of confusing. It is a lot, and it's kind of feel like you're lost, but you are not. So this is why I'm here trying to make it a little bit more easy, a little bit more, I'm not going to say kindergarten, but I do work with kids, and I try to keep it at the level that we can make it simple and we can make it fun, or we can make it at least basic and understandable. So if you see here, that's the astrology chart, and this is real life. What you see in the chart is not magic, is not things that it's not tarot, and I have nothing against that, and I do oracles and all that, Akashic records, but the astrology is tangible, and it's about cycles. Like we have cycles in the body, we have cycles in the sun, we have cycles in the planet, we have the 4 seasons, we have the planets have like a timing and cycles. So it's real life, and this is the chart. Someone was asking in one of the groups about the sunrise or the rising, and concepts that is the earth, is the sky meeting the earth, and you in here in the middle. So it is real life. And here comes when it gets complicated, when we see it in a context that it looks mathematical or geometrical, and for some people it's scary because it's not comprehensible, but it is just basically putting together the cycles, putting together the location. Is a map. It's a map of reality. It's a map of reality on the sky, and it's a map of reality what's happening in your emotional body, what's happening in your biological systems, and around us, even with the 2,000 years Earth is going through. So Earth itself is also going through cycles. So here is the tool. Here's what are we going to work. We're going to take the chart, your chart, and we're going to find for each constellation which biological system we are working. And in some cases, we are not going to go as deep as we did the last time that we work with the 12 systems, because it's a lot of information and it's going to take a long time. It's kind of teaching astrology. So this time we're going to do it more basic, so you can work yourself with it. If not, you're going to have to reach out to an astrologer to go deeper and to find more information, because there are layers and layers and layers of information. For example, I'm talking about our system today. We are going to look for this part of the chart, the reproductive biological system, and we're going to see what's going on in this area of your chart. don't worry, this is just the introduction. We're going to go like a mamushka, like I said the last time. We're going to go deeper and deeper and deeper until we get to the practical part of the tool. But I want to make a presentation just to get there. I cannot give you just, let's go to Aries. So again, this is the basic. Last time we added more information. This time we're going to talk about the sign. We're going to talk about the house, the constellation is, and we're going to talk about the biological system. For that, only 3 concepts that we're going to work. Planets that you find there, the house you have it, and the house and the characteristics of the constellation. So there are 3 things that for us to work on your chart. That's the most basic, and I will explain about it, but I wanted you to know that when we work with this part of the astrology, these 3 things are coming. Okay, here is an example. In this chart, and for the work that we're going to do is finding Aries in your chart. And this is when it starts getting complicated, because I can say, okay, everybody gets your chart and find this symbol, find Aries, and check in which house it is. So you do it on your own, and you're going to tell me, I have Aries in the 5th house of Leo. You put together the information, and I have Chiron on it. Remember, we're going to find the planet, we're going to find constellation, and we're going to find where in the chart is. We can work that way, we can make it easy, and we can just go straight to that, but you're not going to understand the whole context and integrate the tool when we talk about the elements, when we talk about the basic on the chart, like we have been talking on the videos before. So I put this as an example. We're going to work finding Aries, but explaining why and how. This is the same, and it goes the same for the other systems, because I choose this one because it's one of the most difficult, and I posted on the 12 system group and no one replied. What do we do if we have Aries and we have 2 houses here? We have the 12 and we have half on the 11. So there are so many questions that might rise up in this tool that it is complicated. I'm going to explain the basic, and then if we need to get another video of astrology during the week or before the next meeting, we can do a little bit more practice or a little bit more questions only for this part, because it's going to be a challenge. It happened before when we did it in 2020. Like, we all go crazy. How do we find our constellation, in which house it goes? Now, I'm going to say something for the astrologers, even that this situation happened to me. When you are an astrologer, you are based on the ruler of the house. So the ruler of the house is like, you find the lines, and these are all astrological concepts. You find the lines of the beginning of the house, and the constellation that is touching the line, this is the ruler. This is the energy that you find on the house. What happened? Matias came up with this tool saying, this is not going to be the way. The way you find the energy of the house is the one with most degrees. For example, let's say this one. House number 7. House number 7 has mostly 29 degrees of Sagittarius and maybe 1 degree of Scorpio. Can you see it? For the astrology view, the ruler is going to be Scorpio. For Matias' view and the 12 system view, it's going to be Sagittarius, because it's clear you have the 7th house, mostly all the energy of Sag is here, and you have 1 or 2 degrees of Scorpio. So that was the conflict from the beginning with the astrologers and the people that knew the ruler of the house. And Matias explained, this is the way I receive it, this is the way we work it out. Then it got too complicated. If you were back in those times and you took all the classes and you saw all the chaos that it was in Spanish and English, Matias said, use common sense. Don't be so strict. Be flexible with some houses. Some houses are going to have 2 energies. Some houses are going to have not like 1 energy. Some houses are going to have just a drop of 1 energy and full of the other. Some constellations are going to be in the middle, like floating and complicating our life. So be flexible. Be flexible, because it gets too intense and it gets too confusing if we are not letting go a little bit. Astrology can be very mathematical, precise, and when you put concepts that are not reflecting what you study or what the astrology is, it gets even worse. So again, we're going to be flexible in cases like this when you have Aries in 2 houses, and it's even like almost half and half. Well, this one it has more degrees, but we're going to use common sense, and we're going to see when we work one by one how it's going to be on your chart. That was the homework that I put it on the 12 system group, and ask people if you can find your constellations in your chart, and if you have any questions, you go ahead and ask me. So this is what I was talking about. Find the concept of the constellation, which house is ruling. Maybe for some people they don't even know what is house or what is ruling, but that's what I say. I cannot be teaching the basic of astrology, or we're gonna be like another 5 hours, and we don't want it. So this is the basic. We're gonna find where is Aries and in which area is touching in your chart, and if you have something inside. In this case, nothing is going on. Other houses, look at this house. This house is full. So in this, when we work in Capricorn or Aquarius, we're going to have a lot of information in this 12 system. And I'm sure this is going to be reflected in the body. We're going to see which biological system is in this area of the chart. And a lot of things probably are going on related to that constellation. Any question before I keep going?
Yeah, there were some questions. There were some questions
Yes.
in the chat. So if anybody would like to ask the question, or you want me to read it,
you can read it, or you can read it first.
So what
if they are related to this?
Yeah, I think you answered the first one to Chandra when she was asking what happened if the sign is in 2 houses. So you already answered that question. What happens if in Aries or Aries in 10th house, as Anna question, there's no planets? Then I guess you will explain about the toppings, right? Like what is the planets and everything.
Yeah.
So, and then Chandra and like Tuche, sorry if I don't pronounce your name well, they were asking Aries in 9, Mars. So what I suggest is if you have the chart that we share, just write down that information, because when we're going to go sign by sign and system by system, all these questions, it will arise. So these templates are helping you. We thought that we will help you to just put that ideas or that information that you have in the moment that we're talking, just write it down. For example, on mine, I said, okay, so you fill it up, right? Aries, house 1, reproductive. Here, planets, no planets. I don't have planets in Aries, so I write no planets. And then when Barbara starts explaining Mars and the toppings, you start writing down everything on your chart where you have it. Then it's going to be easier for you to start like, working one by one, because in that moment it's just, you have these questions, but it's better to just put it, write it down. That's our suggestion.
Yes. And we're only going to focus today in the Aries house. So if you have planets in Capricorn and if you have planets in Sag or other house, we are not going to address that because that is not the subject or it's going to take forever. So we're going to focus on that area of your chart. Now I'm just explaining in general because I knew it was going to be confusing. I knew it was going to be from the beginning. That was the main question mark for everybody when we did the 12 system. So I was like, I'm going to address this from the beginning and keep going with with the subject. So this is how, because if not, everybody was going to be with that in mind. Like, how I'm going to put this? I have two signs. I have no signs. I have planets. I have no planets. So this is kind of out of the equation right now. We're going to go one by one. When the cases arise, situations, we're going to see if we have time to go through some questions or we do another, because I'm going to have only 1 hour to present this tool and I don't want to be too long. And it's very long. I'm not going to be talking about each planet. If you have Mars in Aries, if you have, but I did put on this PDF all that. What happened if you have Aries? I'm going to say this. It's on the PDF, but I'm not going to cover everything because there is no time. So what happened if you have Aries in this area? Because each chart is going to be different. What happened if you have, like me, I have Aries here. So I put Aries in the first house, Aries in the second house, Aries in the third house. With that information that is on this PDF, you go and fill out your, we're not going to have time to do it everything today. We're providing the basic and the information, and you, with the information, fill it out. And also, I wanted to say, because the last times we did the 12 system, we did focus a lot on the astrology. And it was very complicated for people because when you don't know astrology, there are concepts that are not so easy to merge. Like, for example, in this one, if it's in this case, what is to have Aries in the 11th house? So you have to have a trained mind or a thinking or merging or integrating, this is the word, integrate all the information, because if you talk here, you need to integrate what is to have Capricorn in the 9th house with all this information. Remember when I say the people that are sommeliers, that they need to know what is the wine made of, this is the same. You need to find the test of the 9th house. You need to know what this group of planets is testing and what is the test of Capricorn. So when you drink with your blind eyes, you need to say, this has a little bit of Venus, this has a little bit of Mars. So it's a lot of information to put together and interpret. We can go deeper. We're gonna try to cover the basic, and our focus this time is the body, and that's why we talk with Fifi. Like this time on the planet, we are focusing the body as our nervous system, and as all the cells are going through a process coming from the sky. Can be the astrology, it can be the solar flares, it can be many things, but right now the body is gonna go through a lot. Personally, I'm going through something in my body, and I needed to connect with the body. And collectively is the same. And the time ahead with these solar activities is gonna get more intense. So we are going to focus more in the body than in the astrology. I know we love astrology and it's fun and it gives a lot of information, but that's how we can process in our emotions. Okay. Talking here, when I say Capricorn and the planets and the elements and the houses, to talk a little bit about these layers of information. Again, these layers of information, if you see the houses, that this is the pizza cross, if you came to some other classes, this is the universal and the houses never change. And they are based on the elements and they are based on the behaviors. So again, you see this graphic, but this is us. This is not just a geometrical something or like a pizza. It's our behaviors, are our tendencies, are our active forces or potentials. This is talking about us. Again, the basic of the elements that we talked the last classes, and when Matias talks about time and space, or the basic of the division of the cell or of the unity, when it divides in time and space, it creates this information that is here. You have this chart that we used back then, the concepts of space and time. The time is the process, how you integrate, how you experiment, and this can be in the body or in real life. And this, the space, are the elements. And we talked about it the last class about the triads of the elements, the fire. How is the fire in your body? How is the fire in your soul or mind? And how is the fire in your spirit? With the different biological systems, and they are all integration. Fire is the integration time process. So again, you're going to see, we're going to study Aries, and Aries is the fire in the body. And I'm going to explain why. Here we go. This picture, we're going to use it in all the constellations coming ahead. You're going to see it forever. Because I truly want you to learn it and know why this is important to us. Again, this is a concept. The elements are the concepts. The elements are the concept of space. Matias talked about, and the process are integration, experimentation, the other part. But what is important here is like, and related to the biology and related to the DNA and related to the chart and related to the periodic table that is coming, because these are elements formed with the elements from the periodic table. We're going to see that we have for elements triads. The triads are made from the division of the spark. The unity, and I think Fifi is going to talk again, from one dividing two, and that came time and space. Space is talking about the elements. Our constellation, and I'm not going to talk about all the constellations, our constellation today, that is Aries, that is the first one, is the fire or the spark in the body. The other fire element, that is Leo, is the fire in the mind. And when we went through the soul journey, I explained why. And then the fire of Sagittarius is the fire on the spirit, on the realization after you go through the body, then you go through the mind, and then you go through the spirit. And the same with each element. This is going to be body, soul, spirit, and this is going to be the body, the air experimented in the body, integrating. This is integrate in the body, integrate in the mind, integrate on the soul level. So it's giving you more information, it's giving you more direction, these elements, and this is what I just talked about, the one dividing time and space. The process are the integration, experimentation, and then you have the space elements. You have here characteristics of the fire element. This is the one that we're talking. We talk about Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. They are the fire spark in the body, in the mind, and the emotion. Is the emotion, Ami? The body, the mind, and the spirit. You have the energy
I'm
of
sorry, I hit by mistake. I'm sorry. I just wanted to input that. I thought soul is emotion, and then spirit is mind.
Say it again.
So the soul is emotion, and then the spirit, the mind. Is it soul and mind put together? So I wanted to ask.
You wanted to ask, or you wanted to?
Yeah, well, that's correct. So the emotion, so the soul, the spirit is the one that carries the information. Then you have the soul connected to the emotions, and then you have the body, which is the matter.
Well, yes. I interpret the body, then you experimented in the emotions or on the mind and body, and then you transcended in the fire of the spirit when you realize what you went through, or whatever example.
Yeah, I think that, well, it depends how you understand the process. From the one that I know, from the body and the spirit and the soul is connected to the emotion. So it's the one that connects mind and body. So okay. Because we do that from BioNeuroEmotion is how I understand it. So probably this is what probably Ami is trying to explain, right?
Yes, thank you. That's what Matias kept teaching, the mind and the spirit in the same category, and soul and the emotions same category, and the body matter. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, sorry, my bad, my mistake. I apologize. I'm not perfect.
No.
Thank you, Ami, for noticing my mistake.
No. Thank you, Barbara.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, here is the elements in the chart. So what I wanted to show you, the elements in here. Then you have the elements in your chart. This is like somebody's chart that is showing that it has. For example, it has more 46% fire. Everybody has this drawing. This is the app that I use for astrology, Master Astrology. Then you have 26% earth. Then you have 20% air, and then you have a little bit of water. So how is going to help us know the integration, the experimentation in this case, or in any case in your chart? For example, this person has 40%, 40-something% of fire, so it's a person that can integrate, or the process that is more easy for this person is the integration. It's going to be more fire, it's going to be more active, it's going to be more present, it's going to be more aggressive, more on top of things. But the part, the expression that is the water and is the emotion, is the missing element, or is the part that it needs to work more, and it's going to transpire in the chart, and probably it's going to transpire in the body when we do the body system with the astrology system. It might be reflected in the chart. So this is another way that you can use the chart information that is more easy and is the first information that you get with the elements. Which element is the missing element or the predominant element? And this is the first information that you can get. Okay, I'm gonna go a little bit faster because if not, it's gonna be forever. Okay, we're talking about Aries and the reproductive system. We say again, it's an element fire. I'm not gonna go in depth with all that is here. You can read it, you're gonna have it, but we just say is the fire element. Aries represent the moment of ignition, the spark that begins life. You know, is the house number 1, is the first one to show up in the body. In biology, this corresponds to fertilization and conception when the fire of creation begins a new cycle. So Aries symbolizes sexual instinct, fertile drive, and the creative impulse that gives birth to form. You're gonna have this in the PDF. So after reading that, I wanted to explain, and we're gonna see this in all the charts as well, in all the constellations, because I want you to show you where is coming from the energy or the idea of the Aries igniting and the fire of life and the beginner of the impulse of life. When we went through this soul journey, the last few times that we were talking about astrology, I'm not going to go through all this, but I'm going to focus in this one, right? We are talking about Aries, that is this one, and it's the first one that shows up on Earth. Like you can see here, the seed is under the soil, right? And this house number 12 is when you are in your mom's womb. This is cellular memories. You are not in the body yet. You have a body. You are in your mom's womb. You are connected through the circulatory system. You are connected through DNA. But you are, again, you still on the other realm. You have the spirit maybe in and out your mom's. But the moment that you are born, and this is what is the ascendant or the rising. When you leave your mom's womb or when you break on and you are born, like you see here, this is the first leaves. It breaks the seed and is the first energy spark of life coming out of the darkness is when you embody. And this is the first house. You had a body before. You cut the umbilical cord of your mom, you take a breath. And this is why breath and oxygen is so important, because that's what is giving us the welcome, that the element air is giving us a welcome to this realm. Before we were connected and breathing and eating and everything through our mom's body. So once you get to the first house is when you embody your consciousness on the Aries energy. And this is the beginning. And again, this is the fire of the body. Like we talk about the 3 fire elements, the fire on the body is not fully conscious like it can be on the fire house of Leo or Sagittarius. In this house, the body is functioning and it's the beginning, and it comes from, of course, reproduction, because to get pregnant, your mom went through the reproductive system, right? Then that's how you came here. And this is the Ouroboros beginning and end. The reproductive system is connected to the end because you come here through the reproductive system that is on the first one. Do you see the paradox, or they are very interconnected, and it's a circulatory? And I'm going to say something else. All the systems are connected. The body is not separated, the circulatory from the reproductive, from the lymphatic. The same way the house number 2, the 3, the 4 is not separate in us, even in the chart. We are a whole, and we just, in way to study and see reflected our reality, we can dissect and separate, but in reality, all the body systems are working at the same time, the same way the astrology is working at the same time. You are going through your 8th house at the same time that you are experiencing some family issues. It's not that, oh, now I'm just only family stuff or relationship stuff. So again, when we get to the body or the fire in the body, it comes with a little bit of conscious. Little by little, we collected in the different aspects or the different experience. So this is our first spark, and that's what is impulsive. It's not the Aries or the energy of this fire is not going to analyze or is not going to feel, it's going to just act, because it's like the energy of the heart. It's not, the heart is not saying, like go, 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 or breathe, 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 breathe. All that is unconscious as this energy is. We embody and we get the energy from our instincts or from the cellular memories, like is the reproduction. So this is where this area of the chart that is the beginning and is the spring, this is when the spring starts, the beginning of life, the season you can see here is like all flowers. So we are going to go through this one by one, but I wanted to show again where the one is coming from. And after the house number 1 that you embody, it comes experimented in the Taurus that is coming next time. So I always going to talk about the constellation that we are going to talk, and then we're going to talk the one before and the one after. So we come from the mother's womb, we enter the body. It's a body with impulse, it's just a spark of living, cells reproducing. The body is growing, growing, growing. And in this house number 2, we're going to experiment the senses with the body. But that's coming after. Okay, I'm going to go, let me see if I can go faster with this energy. I'm going to use only the keywords of the Aries. Everybody knows a little bit what just say is initiation, is courage, is action, is impulse, independence, leader, pioneers, drive, assertiveness, everything that you can talk about the Aries energy. And that's the area on your chart that is going to have this energy: speed, passion, directness, competition, warrior, raw energy, spontaneity. Remember, it's a fire, and it's a fire that it has no limits, because it is just acting, and it has a little bit of conscious. Hold on. Any questions before we go to the practical?
Not in the chat.
Okay. This is what I posted this on the group about these 2 houses in the energy. So we're not gonna talk right now, and we're gonna go to the practical. Okay. Again, we were gonna talk about the sign that we already did is Aries. You can now take your chart, if you printed or if you have this part of your template, you can put, we're going to talk about Aries. The element is fire in the body. Then we're going to find, and you can find it here too. Let me see if I can put it. Here, you're going to write down all the keywords that I just say, for you to have it and read it and connect all the dots when Fifi talks about the biological. You're going to see, okay, how these words like pioneer, impulsive, everything that I put it on the list, and there is more information there, but I had no time to go over. Goes in this part. All the characteristics of Aries goes in this area. What comes next? Because this is going to be for everybody the same. We all are everybody's talking about Aries constellation, but for everybody, and that's what I'm going to go back one more here. For everybody, Aries is going to be in a different house. For example, this is another example. In this case, this person has the energy of Aries on the 3rd house, you see? So we already put that information. What is Aries? Aries is this and this and this and this. So now, in your case, that's why you need to get your chart in front of you. The next one, you're going to say, okay, this is the 3rd house. Mine is in the 7th house. The person that, one of the charts that I use as an example, has it on the 5th house. So everybody's going to be in a different place. So that's when things start getting more personal and more interesting, because, you know, it's talking about you. It's not the universal, it's the Aries energy. And now you. Here. Write the characteristics of the house where the constellation is. So this is going to be, again, your personal information. I have, Barbara, my Aries energy in the 7th house. What is the 7th house? Relationship, mirror effect, partnerships, everything that the 7th house is related. I put in this PDF a lot of information and a lot of pictures that you can see, or you can Google, you can use ChatGPT. There is a lot of information that you can get. What is the 7th house? Or what is your house? Also, the other videos, when I went through the soul's journey, talks the same. You know, the soul's journey is going to be talking house by house what is related. One is going to be talking about the 5 senses and everything that you like and everything that you want. Then the other one is communication. Then the other one is family. The other one is creativity. The other one is your health and work. The other one is relationship. So for each, that's the soul journey. That's the whole chart. And the next one is the planets. And I'm going to go back to this person. I'm using this. This person has nothing here. See? So you only put the constellation, what is Aries, what is the 3rd house. You have no planets. But when you work with the next meeting that we have for this person, is going to work with the energy of Taurus, it's going to work with the energy of the house, and then we have 3 other information to add. It has Mars, it has Jupiter, and it has Mercury. So those are the 3 levels of information that we're going to mix. The constellation, the house, and the planet. Then you're going to make a shake. You're going to blend all that, and you're going to have to connect with the information, or an astrologer can give you the information, or you Google, or you ChatGPT, or you think, or you connect with the information, reading the way you really want to use this tool. Any questions?
Mariela said that she have Aries in the 1st house.
Good, perfect for her. It's more easy. We all gonna have different, see, we all gonna have Aries in a different placement. So here you have all the houses for you to say, okay, I have Aries on the 5th house. What is the 5th house about? I have Aries on the 7th house. This is what the energy is gonna talk about. These are all the planets that are, if you have planets in the house, you're gonna add to the blend. Like when I say about the pizza, the cross of the pizza is the same for everybody. Then you have the planets, then you have the constellations or the signs, and then you have the toppings of the pizza that for everybody is going to be different. You're going to have the sun in your sign, then you're going to have Saturn somewhere in a different placement than people that were born before or after you. So for us, each flavor is going to be different. Each topping on the pizza, on the 12 slice of pizza, is going to be in a different place. So for that, we are going to have different flavors or different energies and different subjects. I wanted to, before we go, because I'm rushing it, I wanted to show one thing. For example, like we did the last time, and when I work 101, I can go deeper with the transits because that's what the astrology does in another layer. For example, this, which well, it's kind of blurry, but it's okay. You can see it. In this case, this is the energy of Aries. There is Chiron here. And then this is a chart. And then this is something called transits. So you can have information that if you have Chiron, that wounded healer on the energy of Aries, that's going to be forever, something that you are going to work on. But then month by month, solstice by solstice, year by year, on all the cycles that follow your birth, you're going to have movements and you're going to have energies going through the house or traveling or visiting. Those are the transits. So this was an eclipse. You see here the moon and the sun. So when you have an eclipse in one area touching one of the information, one of the planets or something in that house or in that body system, something in your body, something in your life is going to shake, some new information is going to come to your constellation or to your inner space. So this is how we work with the information. We know that this is going to be an eclipse. This is the North Node in this area also. This is the Chiron return. But that's what I say. There is a more deeper layer in this tool that is more complicated and is more complex and complete, because also talks about what's going on in your body right now or what's going on in your astrology. If we go through something major, like it can be an eclipse or it can be a complete cycle of Chiron that it happened only every 51 years, or if you have your Saturn return in some of the houses, some people might have it in Aries or some people in Taurus, it doesn't matter. So those bigger cycles or bigger callings or information happening in the chart at that moment is going to reflect in your body. It's going to be reflected in all aspects, body, mind, spirit, or whatever we want to call it. So this is basically how we work with the tool. Find the information on Aries, because that's what we're talking right now, and bring it down to the body, and that's what Fifi is going to explain. How something happening in the cosmos or in the stars, like an eclipse, can affect us in the body. And I'm going to say this is my chart from last year that everybody that knows me knows that I had to move after 15 years from the house that I rented. The owner passed away, and I was not planning to move after 15 years. I had to move. I got diagnosed with breast cancer. So it reflected in my body, it reflected in my reality, because I had to move, going through the same doctor, surgery, moving, packing, and asking for help and everything. So all this happened to me last year, and it was reflected in my body and it was reflected in my surroundings because I moved. So I use my example because from here is where I teach and the most I know. And I'm very open to share my experience because that's the way we learn. I'm learning astrology to seeing my life reflected on the chart and my body reflected on the chart. So this is where I'm teaching from, and this is the other eclipse that happened. This one was in August 2024, and this one was February. Looks like February. And you have here on top of my Pluto. So it was here. A few months later, it was in my first house, Pluto. So it truly was a death and rebirth transformation and a lot of things to work within and in my body. So that's why also when we reconnect with Fifi, we say that we were going to go into the body. And this is the tool. I'm not going to go because we just went through, and you're going to write, this is my example. I have a Chiron that you can see. I have Chiron in my 7th house. The constellation here, the house is the house number 7. I'm going to write down what is the house number 7. And then here the characteristics of Aries. Then Fifi is going to talk about the reproductive system. Okay, here is how I put it one by one. I have Chiron in Aries. That's how you're going to look for the information that I put all these picture. Keywords, wound of identity, fear of not existing or not being enough, healing through the self-affirmation. So you have all these in the PDF. This is my personal case. And then, for example, the house number 7, you have lessons through strength from cooperating, not dominating. I discover myself through courage, connection. So a way to connect with the 7th house, Aries on the 7th house, but you have here Aries through the houses. You have each house with the phrase, with the keywords, and with the lesson. House number 2, house number 3, and so on. Then what I put for you to work on with the tool is planets in Aries. If in your area you have the sun or the moon, here you have the keywords that you write down on the template, and then you integrate it. You have Venus, Mars, Jupiter with the energy of each one, Lilith, and the nodes. And then I add here things that you can read about Aries, more pictures, more about the planets, and that's it. Okay, I made it for 1 hour.
Thank you, Barbara.
And any questions about how it works with the astrology? Did you see anything on the chart?
No questions.
Okay.
Okay, if nobody has questions for now, we're going to have questions at the end also. We're just trying to not keep you here for very long. Well, I can, if everybody, nobody has more questions to Barbara, like basic questions, we're going to start with the systems. What I suggest is if you had the charts or the templates of the 12 systems, we do the same. We're gonna, okay, it doesn't show, but if you have the templates, do the same thing that you were doing probably with astrology, because what happens is like we are trying to receive the information that is related and resonant with us. Because to receive information for the sake of receiving information is too much information and it's not practical. So what I will invite you to do when I start talking about the systems is to start receiving the information in the moment that you feel like, oh, this resounds to me, I think I have that energy, write it down. Write everything on your chart, because this is the way that you're going to start working with the energies of the system, and energies of Aries, or the fire, or the emotions. So I will suggest that everything that resounds to you, just take a note, write it down, and then you can start developing and receiving more information when you start connecting. So what we try to do here is to start connecting the information that from the astrology part, from the biological part, from BioNeuroEmotion. So be just free to, start feeling in the body whatever you feel now. This is like an open space, and with the intention we put in the beginning, the idea is to receive it in the body, because the body is the way, is the path. Yesterday I was reading some parts of the Emerald Tablets where they're talking about, his thought is talking about the darkness and the light. And the darkness is staying in that state of mind that we are just matter. So, but we cannot deny that. We cannot deny the womb, the void, the darkness where everything was created. So we need to start integrating this in our lives, and being in balance and being in coherence is putting together these two opposites of energies, positive, negative, masculine, feminine, the mind and the body, through the emotions, through the soul, because the soul is the energy of the body. And BioNeuroEmotion, which is one of the methods that I accompany people, I learn it, I actually live it through it, because this is the way I find my answers. I could heal many paths and many conflicts with my family tree. It helped me understand these 12 systems in the way that I'm gonna share it with you. So this is my personal way of understanding this tool, because I just connected to BioNeuroEmotion. And if you're not familiar with BioNeuroEmotion, in one of the previous videos, in the intro, I explain a little bit more what is about the tool, the same way how biodecoding is a way of mapping certain, connecting the emotions, or the what symbolize certain certain health problems or symptoms that we have in our bodies. I'm going to start sharing the presentation. Okay. Just let me see. And if someone can just let me know if you can see it, I would appreciate it. Can you see it?
Yeah, we can see it.
Yes. Right. So let's see how I'm gonna do this. Okay. So I'm just gonna skip probably many of the first slides, because Barbara already covered that. Well, here's just like the overview. Already Barbara talked about the astrology Aries. I'm going to talk reproductive system through BioNeuroEmotion. At the end, we're going to do the meditation and practice. Why? Because we want to receive that information and then take it to our body, through our emotions, and doing something practical. Doing something that our body can feel it, and they can share the memory, or storage the memory, because our bodies are the ones that storage all the memories. And at the end, we're gonna have some open mics for some questions. So, but this is the part that Barbara talked, that the emotional experience with zodiac influences are the ones that are connected to the 12 constellation, which are the microcosmic map, and our body are a microcosmic map. So the systems in the universe are reflections, right? We are reflecting a bigger, like a smaller system in our body, but we are a universe itself. We are, like I said, the gods of ourselves. So we need to be conscious about this connection. connecting the information is to be conscious about it. I think when they talk about weaving and remembering, is make sense of what information I have. We the way I see it is like we are bodies, which are technology, is like being a computer, right? A computer, when you get a computer, you get a computer with your software. So it's at the hardware, it will be the body, and the software will be the information. That information comes from everything that is related to the past, right? Our past lives, our ancestors' information, some events that happened when I was a child, and keep repeating it and repeat it through a space and time. And we're going to talk about how space and time is related to these processes here with the body. So by understanding your soul process, your system through the stars and the inner biological system, you can understand the whole reality. This is what Matias said when he explained the 12 systems. Okay, so this part already Barbara covered. So, but this you can review it, you can see it. We just put here what is the constellation we're working with today, the house 1. The planet ruler is Mars, and the element is fire. The attribute is I am, is to be. Here are some energies that already Barbara talked about it. And where is Aries in your chart? In which house? And what planets are in this area? So this is something that you, each one of you will need to fill it up in your chart. 1 second. I don't see that because I cannot see this very clearly. Okay. All right. So this is something that Barbara also talked, and you can use it as a tool to see what is the ruler planet of each sign and the houses. This is everything that already Barbara talked. And then identifying in your birth chart, these some questions, and the concept of space, like Barbara explained, is Aries, and then how I am in that process, right? If I'm expressing Aries, experimenting, integrating, transcending, this is depending how you're feeling it, the energies. Okay, so this is what we covered today. I'm just gonna skip it until that part, the one that I'm gonna develop a little bit more. So we are going to focus on the reproductive system today, which is related to Aries, to the first house, because this is the beginning. How we embody, how we incarnate to this physical body is through this system. So biology is the tool that the spirit has designed for us to manifest the divine in matter. Like Matias was saying, the body is trying to, like the spirit is coming through the body to experience, to live and experience life. We don't need to forget that we are in a three-dimensional planet. We are part of Gaia. We are part of the Mother Earth, and her experience is the matter. So everything that we experience is through our bodies. Sometimes we're trying to escape the body because it's painful, because brings memories, feelings that we don't want to feel. And it's here when I come back and connect with the panic, with what Matias was talking and explaining, how panic, this being from nature, explain him about the 12 systems, because it's how we connect with that part of our body, with this energy of creation, is through the reproductive system. And as we're going to see, this reproductive system is related to pleasure, is related to desire, is connected to the lower emotions. And panic is the word that means that we are in fear because we cannot control these emotions, these impulses. But these impulses are the one that creates life in this earth.
Can I add something? Sorry to interrupt. That's why the first house of the Aries, or when we just embody in this plane as a baby, all the energy and all the process are with a little bit of conscious. The baby sleep, the baby eats, the baby poop, and there is no much of the body. Even all the functions are working, but there is not interaction or much conscious, and that's the point. We came through that portal that is the first house to embody and start getting the more information and more conscious little by little. So it is a very
that's how we start right connecting the energies of the constellations of the astrology with also the biology. And thank you, Barbara, for saying that, because this is how we need to start weaving all this information, right? That's why we're here. We're not just here to give just facts that you can find anywhere in now, just the information is there. The important thing here is that you start connecting that information of the astrology and the biology. So like Barbara was saying, that system is the one that, initiate and create, and the energy of Aries is an energy of fire. And this fire represents the action to ignite, to create, but not just create like gestate and create a baby, also a project. So for example, right now, if you are in the moment that you want to create something, you want to create a project, and it's not happening, right? So I will suggest to observe this energy, right? Go check where you have the Aries, how is your fire in your chart. Like Barbara was explaining, we have the 4 elements, and sometimes we lack more one element than the other. For example, in my case, I'm lacking fire, right? So I know now, and I'm like, oh, that's information. How can I use it in my life? Because now I know, like, if I want to create something and I'm lacking this energy, so I need to do something with this energy. And this energy in the emotional, five basic emotions, anger is the one that is connected to this element. And it's interesting because through coaching, I'm, asking these questions, I'm practicing, and I'm thinking, okay, what is the energy, or what is this emotion that I lack the most? Like, not lack, but I judge it. I don't want to. I feel uncomfortable with, and it's anger. Okay, I ask myself, yeah, this from the 5 basic emotions that are the emotions that like help us survive, and we need to know how to use them. Anger is something that it's hard for me to express it, or if someone express it, it makes me feel uncomfortable. So all of that means that in the past, when I was a little girl, I probably saw something that made me very uncomfortable about anger, right? Like my mom was getting probably super angry and I get scared. So I start integrating, like I start looking at this anger in a different way, talking to this emotion. And I understood that this emotion has something that it will help me right now. How? Because I need fire. So how will help me? I need to embody that anger, but not getting angry. There is ways in practices like the neuroplasticity language that we can do for anger. For example, I'm just giving this example right now because we're talking about fire. Like you can do breathings that make the body is making this breathing and is connecting to the brain and is telling the brain anger. So you do, for example, this breathing that is through the nose really fast, like a bull. So when you do this exercise, your body is getting ready to fight, is embodying the fire. So when you are lacking this energy, when you're lacking this like this emotion, you don't need to get anger. to create something. So you start doing this, and your body connects to the emotion. It's very interesting because we sometimes say and think that, yeah, we think about something, and this thought make us feel something, and therefore our body feel, right, or somatiza is like make it like feeling in the body, right? But also we need to understand that when we do something with the body, when you do exercise with the body is also connecting to the mind. So we can use it both ways. It's really interesting. I really love that because these are exercises that we can do consciously to start understanding, integrating the elements in our lives and also the emotions and how they are helpful. Because if someone heard, oh, anger, to be angry is not positive, right? But it's how you use the energy of that emotion. Okay, here I wanted to, I thought that it is inevitable if I talk about the body without seeing this, sorry, just trying to put uh, this picture or these images of how we have this body. The universe started dividing itself, and it divided in two, time and space. So it's the unity that divided in two. Time is a constant cycle that repeats expansively, and space is what you experience in that time. The way I understand it through BioNeuroEmotion is when I work with clients and they come to me and say, okay, I want to work with this. I have this conflict, okay, in my life. I have a pattern that I repeat, and I don't know why I repeat it, and then I don't know what to do. So what we do is we go through time and space to the moment when it generates that conflict. So through time and space is how we can heal, that we can solve, we can make conscious information, because it's not about how much we do. Sometimes just make conscious what happened. You start putting things together. And putting things together is remembering, is building again this puzzle, making sense of what is happening to me. And then you understand, okay, yeah, why I have this boss that I have a conflict. For example, I have a boss in my job and he's a male, right? And he start all the time, he's like, he's not happy with what I'm doing, or he criticized me or whatever. So from this moment, you need to understand that you're repeating to time and space one conflict that didn't generate with your boss. It generates before. So when you go back and you go back with the method that is navigating the subconscious to make it conscious, is working with the information that is unconscious and subconscious and making it conscious. That's the weaving. When we understand that I'm repeating something through time and in a different space, because before was maybe my dad when I was 5 years old, that probably every time I did something, he was, oh, you can do it better, or or maybe getting upset because I didn't do it perfect. I don't know. So what happens is like in this space, I got caught, like I got stuck, and because I couldn't transcend, and that is where it comes the integration, experimentation, and transcendence. Like, everything is the process. So if in that moment I couldn't integrate, transcend it, because I got an emotion, I got stuck in that emotion, I start believing something, and through time and space, I start repeating it in my life. And nowadays, now this is not my father, now it's my boss. Maybe it's not my father, but maybe it's my husband. So making conscious about this, understanding that we repeat things through time and space is very important for this process, in my opinion, to put and weave together things that I need to resolve in my life, to integrate. And it's not just my life when I was a child, or maybe a memory when I was in another life, right? is also the the tree, the whole family tree, because we receive information from them. Like I was saying, we are not a body that came to this world empty. We are like a computer that came with a software. We came with a bunch of information that we carry because it wasn't observed, it wasn't it didn't go through the whole process of expressing, experimenting, integrating in transcendence. Until you don't finish that process, you will be, the next generations will cut in the moment and in that stage, and will carry it, because someone in the tree, someone in the system, in that system, needs to resolve it, needs to integrate it, to transcend it, to evolve. So all this process is expressing, experimenting, iterating, transcendence, the whole circle, a spiral. So that's evolution. So when we understand that we evolve through time and space with the information we carry from our ancestors, the information we carry from other lives, to do it right now, here and now, is how we can really give something to the world. It's how we can really connect to other nodes, to our community, to our country, to our planet, to our system in the universe. We cannot do
Fifi,
something. Yes.
Sorry to interrupt. Let me add something, because I posted on the group something about what do you think, why Matias is talking about the break of time. We need to repair the time, and what is time? Nobody replied. But this is what I was trying to say. The main issue that we are having as a society, it was that break of time, that process. We are not tuned with the process, and we are not conscious doing the work. And that's what the I am, and that's what the reconnecting and the ascension process is bringing more light to, being able to work with the process in time, that is like integrate the information in real life, in the past, do the work, understand first, experiment, and that's what's going on with time, that Matias talk about time, and is broken. Why is broken? Why is the time broken? Is the timeline broken? What is about? And in reality, and when you're thinking in real life, 3D, our bodies, our relationships, we are not integrating, we are not cooperating, we are not experimenting as we maybe from a healthy perspective or more balanced perspective. So for me, when I was thinking, what is time? Why is broken? Why is broken? I was just traumatized. How to fix it? First, what is time? Because if you want to fix something, you need to know what you are trying to integrate or fix. So Matias said it, the integration and the experimentation, and that concept of time that is so basic and easy in our life and so complicated, that's what is going to bring us to the I am, to the community, to the Aquarius age, and to this ascension process,
Yes.
to align these
Yes.
cycles. Okay, thank you.
Yes, and thank you, Barbara. No, and I think like I said, to grasp a concept, for me, you need to understand it from where you are. Trying to understand a concept from, let's say, I don't know. I will explain the connections that I could make with it. For example, now the reproductive system from what I understand. Cannot understand as a biologist. I'm not a biologist, or as a quantum physicist, because I don't understand that world. So this is something that for me was very like eye opening. Like when I trying to understand a concept, what is my field that I really resonate with me, or I understand it and apply it to it. So, well, like this is the way I understand time and space from the BioNeuroEmotion. I work with this. I've seen how it makes sense, to use these polarities of like that sometimes they're easy to understand, but sometimes too very, very complex. but I apply it to this tool, which is the BioNeuroEmotion. So the other part that is very important to understand is that from this time and space, everything was created. Well, the tetrahedron, which is the first basic structure, was this separation of the 1 to the 2, and then the 1 point on the top, or 1 point I can visualize, I can explain the way I see it, but another point that connects it. And the way I see is that I see positive, negative, the good things and the bad things that happen, the people that I hate, the people that I love, the people that do good to me, that I think that they do good to me or do bad to me. All these, if you don't see from a different perspective, from high, like we will say from BioNeuroEmotion, you need to get out of the conflict to really have a perspective. When you have this perspective, you can see both sides. And then you go into the center, which is the balance. You understand that both need to coexist in the same moment, in the same time, so you can evolve. So for me, that's the triad. Like this is how I see that we can start getting into this balance, right? With this basic geometry that creates everything. So we, from these basic structures, which is the first one is the tetrahedron, you have the cube, well, the two tetrahedrons, one, and we are two tetrahedrons together. These conform the Merkaba. The heart of the Merkaba is the cube. Then then we have like the octahedron. Everything is inside the Merkaba. The octahedron, then the dodecahedron, then the icosahedron. When the dodecahedron and icosahedron together, they form the sphere. So that's why I put here. I'm not gonna go through all that because it's a lot, but of course, you can read and see like all these concepts that look simple, but they're very profound. Even like in the Emerald tablets, talk about this. They're very interesting. But we are this geometry. We are that five basic structures in the universe, and from there, the 12 systems emerge. I love this movie, which is the movie of the Doctor Strange, and I put it here because when I was connecting with this information, is the first thing that come to me is this part of this movie where the ancient one, which for me can be a thought or any master that guide us, as Matias also shared that information, is showing us that we are seeing things in separate parts, right? When she showed this to Doctor Strange, the book where you see the chakras and you see the meridians, and then it's basically that. I see that about we need to start putting things together, open our eye to connect things, but open our eyes also to see perspectives and to see things from a different perspective of the other. And then we're going to start uniting things, not keep being separated and fragmented in many parts. So I put here that this triad is one of the basic ones, because this is what I'm going to talk about in the part of the biology. Like we were talking before with Barbara and Amy, help clarify. So we are in the spirit, which is the information and the consciousness. We have a soul, which is the energy of the body, the emotions, and then the body, which is the matter. So these three is our trinity. And the way I've seen is this, like the body and the mind connect together through the spirit, to the soul, which is the emotion. That's why BioNeuroEmotion is bio from the biology, neuro from the neurological part, which is the information, and then the emotions. Okay, so the reproductive system is what allows us to exist in this body. This is what Matias explained. He started talking about the reproductive system. I'm just, you can read this anytime. There is a lot of information about the reproductive system as the system. Like I said, I'm not a biology expert, so I'm not going to talk about the whole thing. Just going to tap some key points. So the function of this system is reproduction of the species and gestation. And the symbolic function is the one that speaks about all this permission I give myself to desire, to feel, to create, to start something new, to share my body and my heart, to choose whether if I continue with my family or energetic lineage, if I want to create something that symbolically is not a person, it's not a new life, but it's, like I said, like a project. One of the mentors, like the masters for me that I learned a lot about through the BioNeuroEmotion is Carl Jung. And he said that the body is the stage in which the soul performs its dramas. And I love the way he explained this, because it's like, if we see that our body is like the chart. I see, like, for example, like the birth chart, right? In one house, the house is what is the scenario where I'm living these energies. So the body is the stage of how we perform the dramas of the soul, of the emotions. So the psyche expresses itself through the body.
And also what happened in the astrological chart, it reflects in the body and what's going on with us.
Mm-hmm. So I'm just listing here some organs of this reproductive system, and I'm very visual, so I just put pictures. You can go through it and see it in the male reproductive system and the female reproductive systems, and the organs. The way I see it, everything has, right, a symbol, a symbology. So I wrote it down next to each other. What will be like the symbology of certain organs, like ovaries or the testes are like the seed. So imagine, like, this is like the chart that Barbara was showing about the plant, right? So you start with the seed, and then the fallopian tubes are like the pads, the uterus the nest, the cervix is the threshold, the vagina and the penis is the reception and expression of that energy, like that it impulses us, right, to procreate, and the prostate, usefulness and contribution. And I was thinking, like, okay, I want to take this example. So how is, realistic to understand this symbolism in the prostate, for example, one of the organs? And I'm thinking like this: why? I don't know if you heard, but there is a lot. Like my dad, I took the example from my dad, that he had an operation of the prostate. He had a prostate operation, and I'm thinking, usefulness and contribution is not. And this is a question I did to myself, but I said it's not like curious that when a man goes to certain age, that he is not reproducing, right, the sperm. The prostate problems comes because the symbol is, now I'm not useful. I'm not producing life, right? Like the seeds. And how I contribute now, if for the survival of the species, my role, one of the main roles, was give that seed, right, to the female part so you can create something. I thought it was very interesting. So like this, you can start organ by organ. If you, for example, right now feel and know that, okay, I have an issue with this system or with this energy or with this emotion, write it down. And then, you can use that to go in deep and deep and deep to understand why is that present in my life right now. Because this is how we connect, right? Everything, and we start transcending this information. We start like integrating the information that was never transcended, and it's probably something that you inherited. You don't inherit only physical disease, which is like not being in ease, right? It's being unbalanced, but you also inherit the information of your ancestors. For me, for example, it's not crazy to think, it makes sense to me why in my close family I have cousins or friends that they don't have kids. that they don't want kids, and you're thinking, why is these generations that they don't want to have kids? And then if you understand, you go through, like we say, time and space, and go back and see how the women or the feminine were living this reproductive system, these energies, how they live it in their body, how much information and memory my body has from that, because your body is the one that stores that memory. You don't have it conscious that, but to make it conscious heals you. And you start probably judging yourself. You start probably thinking that you're alone in this, or there's something wrong with me. When you start making sense of this, you understand. And one of the things that we cannot do is to choose what we experience in this life, because we came here to do this work of evolution, but we can certainly choose how you decide to experience it. And this is where your free will comes, in my opinion, because you can always choose how you experience this sickness, this emotional conflict that you have, or the relationship that you are going through, how I experienced that with one consciousness, understanding. If you're lost because you don't have the answers, because you don't make sense, that doesn't make sense to you. When you make sense, when you make consciousness to that information, is when you start like doing really something. So the stage is like the body, where actors, which are the organs, perform the roles. So what that means, like the dynamics are not found in the play itself, but rather in the previously stipulated script, the patient's story that defines their individuality. That's exactly what I was explaining. Is our body, if I get sick, it's not, or have a disease, or something, a symptom, it's not because it's something separated from how I interpret things that happen to me, or I feel, or I sense. This is the script, the patient story. Like, what is all my belief system, my emotions, what I judge, that's the script. And then everything is played through the organs and to the body. The big factor of our biological health are the interpersonal relationships. This is key, because anything that we want to find, we want to heal, is through the interpersonal relationships. That's why Matias talked about choosing a person. This is where the choosing a person comes from, or in my opinion, you can use that connecting to that, because if I have, how I will know that I'm angry if I'm not in front of something that reflect me that, right? Or like any sensation or emotion, you need the other. You need someone that is gonna bring up these things that you need to work right now, this information that you need to work right now. So all the conflicts in our lives, all the conflicts are here for a purpose. I wrote here like I like this picture because it's like very visual, showing that the anger is the basic emotion related to Aries into fire. And like I talked earlier, right? Like how you can uh, start like being more consciousness about the good things that anger can bring you to your life, and not just judge it, right? Um. So, and uh, Ami, did you want to ask a question? Sorry, I think I saw something.
Is it okay if I go now?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So yeah, thank you for mentioning about the anger relating to Aries. And then I just wanted to add the anger, basically negative emotion in our impression about why this is related to Aries. And it is all about this, the energy that rises in your body. The chemical reaction that you need to initiate, some spark to start something which is related to Aries, which is very similar to the feeling of anger. So in the human mind, understanding as anger, this chemical reaction in your body is easier, and which relate to Aries. But actually, like for example, like you see in a movie or something, the football players, the football coach is yelling at the players, "Get angry, get angry!" And what is he doing is, it's not, you don't need to get angry, but this coach is trying to raise this chemical reaction in your body to raise this fiery energy, right? Which is very similar to the feeling of anger. So if you know the movement inside your body, energy movement inside your body, you can control this without processing it as anger. I learned this a long time ago because there was time I got angry all the time. and then one point realized that I learned to control my emotion, but the same energy, the same chemical reaction in your body is happening. And so I can use this power and energy without this angry perception to initiate and be assertive, and express yourself without being shy. And then that was the chemical reaction in your body to generate this energy that you need, which is related to Aries. It is very similar to anger. So that's why, I wanted to add to that because the anger, Aries anger is bad, but that's the base of why this emotion is related to the Aries. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Amy. And yes, so like Amy was sharing is how we see like this fire, like this fire with people want to be like going to a competition or like a play is very related to how Aries are, right? I have Aries, plenty Aries in my life. My son, my dad, my husband, my best friend, my sister, like name it. And I'm Libra. I'm in the other opposite side. So it means like the everything is perfect, right? You have in the other side the person that complements you, the ones that they're showing me exactly what I need. And it's crazy because in my chart, the element that I like the most is the fire. So it makes sense to me now. Now I don't judge it. Now every time they act or react in a way that I before was judging it because I'm like, oh, peace, like why you need to be like that. And then I understand this is something that I need in my life. I need to see it. That's why I have so many Aries around. And I needed to see it because I need to use that energy in this life to do something with that energy, right? Um, okay, so we continue. I just put here a little bit of like some emotions that are related to conflicts and then the inquiry prompts that can come. For example, if I have an emotion of desire, I probably have like, if this emotion are connected to any conflict that it resonates with you, just write it down because it can have the desire has probably conflict with the vital impulse. There is a judgment of like I shouldn't be feeling that, or like the mandates of the family, right? Women shouldn't feel this, men shouldn't do that, this is wrong, this is like sinful, etc., etc. So just for you, I'm not going to go through all of them. You can write it down or revisit the video and start working with what resonate with you so you can start applying it to your life. So some questions here that can be related to this system and the symbolism and the energies are how free or limited I feel to desire to enjoy my body and to choose intimacy. Oh, do I feel shame or guilt or fear when my natural impulses were judged or controlled? What family expectations I have about children or gender roles, continuing lineage? All these questions are helping us to really get in depth. So one of the exercises that I suggest is always start with the questions and write down not just one answer. Just keep asking you, what else? what else? What else? Because amazingly, the more you ask what else, things are start like, it's like peeling, it's like a peeling like an onion, right? You start taking one layer and one layer and one layer, and you will be amazed to see what you get from this. So BioNeuroEmotion, the tool that I was talking to you about, I practice it and I accompany people through my practice. Is like is working on the perception, the beliefs that you have through something that is happening with you in like in your life, and understanding the perception and the belief that you have, that you learn through, time and space, through your family and your and the information that you're carrying, are affecting your emotions actually right now, and also your biology, because we somatize these emotions and these 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 thoughts, right? That we translate it to, we interpret what is happening, and with that in that interpretation, we had an emotion, a feeling, a sensation, and therefore the body are like expressing it. um what is actually what I don't make sense to it, right? I don't understand it, I don't trying to observe it, and then the body is like the last resource. It's like, okay, if I'm here, it's because you didn't listen to me. Like this is like the most material way of showing you that you need to observe and you need to start connecting. So some questions that, like can be related to this, that's work through the BioNeuroEmotions. What project do I forbid myself to conceive? Like we're talking about kids, right? Kids or projects. Sometimes it's like, I want to create a project, right? I wanted to do it, but what is stopping me? What is the limitations I see, or what I'm blocked, that doesn't let me continue with this? It's like, I desire, right? It's my intention. I really want it. But until you don't understand it with your whole body, your body is the path how you're going to manifest. You're going to make something real with the, the material, right? With the manifest with your hands. With, so what is the thing that is stopping me? What is the thing that is blocking me? What is the thing I'm conscious about that is stopping me to do this, that I really want, right? I want to create something to leave it to the world. If it's not the kid, if it's something, right? Something truly like connected to my purpose and my mission. So observe this basic system is very, very important. And sometimes, yeah, it's about like things that interrupt our desire, is guilt, shame, is fear, is that emotions that we judge, but we need to understand them, why they're there, how they served me in the past, because they can be an emotion that you say, okay, fear. Now I feel I'm afraid that I'm not gonna do it well. I'm afraid that it's not probably, I'm gonna make a mistake. So where does this fear come from? How it served me in the past? When you understand how it served you in the past, you make something positive, right? From that judge judgment, like, okay, it helped me survive, it helped me go through this situation, and that's why I'm here right now. So okay, make peace with that, and then like, okay, now how can I use you, how you will serve me. So investigate about the proyecto sentido, which is the conception narratives, very important in this system. It's not just the information of the moment you were born, but also the gestation process with your mom and your dad. It's not just because some people think, okay, it's a relation between mom and the mother and the baby, like because the baby receive all the information and sensations and even images. Like it's crazy. I experienced something personally like that. When I was pregnant with my son, and I was 2 months pregnant, or maybe a month and a half, and I didn't know back then. I was in Hawaii, and I was like swimming with some turtles, and then over the years, of course, like, I was pregnant. I didn't even know. When he was about 3 years old, 2.5, 3, he told me how amazing it was to be like swimming with the turtles. I was like, he never did when he was alive, like incarnated in the body. So all the information, everything that the mother see, hear, smell, everything feels, goes through connects in the information package of the baby, but also the connection with the father. It's not just the mother. It's like when the father probably talks and they're around the baby, like all of that, all the sensations, everything is connected through the body, and the body is remember, is the ones that storage that memories, that information. So we don't get sick because of stress. We get sick because how we interpret things that happens to us. We cannot keep saying, "Oh, have this back pain because I'm stressed," or "I have this gastritis because I'm stressed." It's how I interpret the things that is happening in my life that it makes the body react in certain ways. Well, here I just go through this space, time, and person. I think I already explained how I understand the process of time and space through this BioNeuroEmotion, and you can do that. You can ask questions: in which circumstances I live this energy in my life? The fiery, the Aries. I start thinking. I start things, or I get angry, or if I start things, I stop. All these questions are going to give you clues so you can keep digging and digging and going deeper and deeper. Or in which situations I get angry, or what upsets me, right? Like I was giving the example about the anger that I see around my Aries, and I judge it before and now understand it, and I'm trying to integrate it in my life and use it in a way that is useful. Uh, then the time that you leave it, you can think and understand, like, okay, how I'm living, for example, my Aries or my fire. Am I creating something, or I don't feel like create anything? Probably I'm transcending this energy, or I'm in the process of really experimenting and like creating and creating and creating. So this is how you need to start applying that concepts on the processes that you live. And the person, so who in my family, Matias put that here, we should choose someone from the family that reflects your energy or emotion. I personally, because I work with this tool of BioNeuroEmotion, like I said, you can, I will say, very intuitive, and at the end, it's about flexibility. I will say, if you don't feel like right now someone is listening to this, you are like, okay, I don't feel like he's anyone in my family. The first person that came to my mind when I hear about the system, I hear about these energies, is my boss. Okay, write it down. It's not unflexible. I think you need to work it through your own life and make sense to you. But in this case, okay, who in my family reflects this energy on emotions, or with whom I feel connected when I think about this energy on emotions or the circumstances. Maybe it comes to your mind like, oh, I know, I don't connect with the energy, but I don't know, my mom has I don't know, ovaries cancer or something. So it comes to you that information. So just write it down and consider it to start, like, healing like this information and connecting it, especially. So transgenerational patterns, I put here the tree because this is one of the main things we connect when we work with the tool of BioNeuroEmotion, and I think other methods and other like even the astrology and the constellations, you work with this information of your transgenerational patterns because you inherit that information from your family tree. So these I just listed some things that we sometimes hear from our grandparents and parents or uncles regarding to these um, subjects of this system and the energies, right? It's about, for example, decent people don't, no? Or real men must do something, or the pressure of like when sometimes they ask girls or the women, like, when are you gonna get married? When are you gonna have children? So all of that is interesting to observe it and not just take it as like, oh, why I keep receiving this information? Why they keep asking me, right? Instead of like, stop asking me, just uh, receive this and ask yourself, what's for? Not why, but what's this in front of me right now? If this person is asking me this person is just reflecting something that I have, something that I probably need to hear, but I cannot hear myself. So the other is coming in front of me to give me this information. So to just stop in the moment of anything that is happening in your life and get out of the polarity, go to a higher way of seeing things, different perspective, and ask yourself why this person right now here is asking me, oh, when are you gonna have children, for example, or whatever, right? Instead of like, oh, this person is just judging me, or no, this person is coming to you asking you this because it's something that you need to hear, because it's something that you put it there. The other is just another you, right? We are just reflections. So one of the things that you can inquire, like I wrote it here, but there's so many, is like which history is in mine, but it still carry, right? And what is my adult choice now? Like I said, we cannot by choice cannot control what we're experiencing, because we're gonna need to experience it. But when you make peace with that, saying, okay, I go through this because I understand that this is something that I inherited from but the past, because someone in my tree, because the tree is me, something is rotting in the root. I'm gonna be in the top of the branch, and I'm gonna get rotten eventually. Someone needs to take care of this part to evolve. And if it's me, I accept it. And then I need, in that moment, to take a decision. Your choice is how I'm going to live it, suffering, with judge, being a victim, or I'm going to do something that is going to help me evolve, and not just me. When you heal something in your tree, everyone in your tree is healed. The whole tree benefit. Even if like you have a conflict with your mom, with your dad, and start, mom and dad is the basic. This is the nucleus. Everyone, no matter how perfect the mom or the dad was, the kid will always have a conflict with something, because this is how we evolve. And as a parent, when I understood that I cannot, the most I can do is to be the better parent I can be for my son. I will never be a perfect parent, because I have a baggage of information that I carry from my family. And I need to just, in this life, trying to be conscious. And for me, this is the most important inheritance you give to your children, to your descendants. Take care of what you were supposed to take care here and now, so they don't carry this baggage. It's not about how much money I'm gonna leave them, or they're gonna have a perfect life if I work too much, or if I give them this. It's not about that. It's what is really the inheritance that I'm giving them. It's like, I'm not one to give them something that I was supposed to take care right now and give them as a baggage. So I make consciousness of this, and I start receiving that information, accepting the things I need to experience, and have a choice of like, okay, I want to take care of this in this way. This is consciousness. Creation begins when shame is healed into permission. So we are gonna finish this part with a little practice, if everybody is okay with that, before we go to the questions. Just a little meditation, but the practice, I just wrote this. So if any of you want to put the intention of any of this, or an intention you want about integrating all these energies of the Aries, the fire, the reproductive system, and what I want to start, or what emotions, sensations I feel connected to these energies. When we start the practice, I'm going to just pass this slide, and the next slide is like a mandala, so you can close your eyes and just connect for a little bit. I'm just gonna, it's not gonna take long. I'm just gonna do a little practice so we can start integrating this. And if you feel, you can place your hands on your lower belly, breathe in, permission, and then shame out if you feel like doing this. And you can start, this is one of these phrases that you can start saying it, or thinking about how you allow the creation and these energies of fire, the Aries, the reproductive system in you, in your body, in your tree, how this is serving you today, and how you want to from now take the choice of integrating in your life. Before I pass to the exercise, we're gonna have the questions open mic after this. So probably if everybody's okay, we can do this after, like the questions. If anybody have question right now, everybody's okay with that? Yes? Okay. So we're just gonna go to this moment. I'm just gonna guide you through just um, a small breathing and visualization. So right now, if you feel like placing your hands, connecting to your system, to every organ in your body that is part of this reproductive system, place your hands there. Make a big, big and profound take breath, and hold it there. Meanwhile, you're holding it, just without any judgment, let your body connect with each and every part of this system in your body. You are the God of your body, of yourself. You are touching this system with love, compassion, understanding. You're connecting right now with every memory that this system has and have been carrying a long time and space for you. Let your body connect with the emotion that any of the organs or the system itself wants to give you right now. Connect. If you have a memory, if anything rises right now in your mind, remember it, because it's giving the information you need to work with these energies. What areas in your body, what fire in your body is giving you right now as an information connecting this system and these organs. Keep breathing, taking a big breath. And when you let the air out, release. Release anything that you know that is not of service to you with this system, with these energies. Make conscious of all the information that you carry is the information of your past and your future. that you are here and now, observing from a higher point of view the polarities without judgment, just letting the river go through your body, all that emotion and information flow through your body. There is no control here, only acceptance, openness, and enjoyment. I give myself here and now permission to create from my womb, from the void, from the darkness. I am receiving this without judgment, to take to the light this creation of mine for me and for the whole universe. I thank my ancestors. I thank my guides. I thank everyone that has been giving me this information, and I honor every single thing that I experience right now. Thank you for giving me this, because right now I take the choice to live everything with a higher consciousness. The next breath is the last one. Whenever your body is ready, you can start moving and thanking the body for being this vehicle of my soul and the spirit. Thank you, thank you, and thank you. Whenever you're ready, your time, you can come back here and now, and open your eyes.
Thank you, Fifi. That was beautiful.
Thank you, everybody. I certainly had fun doing this from my heart. It's a learning process for me too, and I really cherish your presence here, because all of you are part of this wonderful network that we all are, right? And I really thank you for being here.
Thank you very much.
Hey, thank you, thank you, thank you.
You make beautiful presentation files, by the way.
Thank you.
How did you make it? It's not a PowerPoint, is it?
No, I do it in Canva.
Thank
you.
Of course. Good, great.
Yeah, so right now it's 2:20. If there is any questions, that you want to, share with us? I think maybe like another probably max 20 minutes. What do you think, Barbara? Well, I just have a birthday at 3 p.m. that I'm gonna need to go soon. But of course, we have some space to have any to respond your questions if you have any.
Yes, if not, they can leave the questions in the 12 system group. If we don't have time to answer or go over things, also the 12 system group on WhatsApp is open to all the questions, all the sharings, and whatever you need from the tool.
Yes, and I really suggest you to fill up. It can be the template or whenever, just write it down. Everything you feel here. You have any memory that came to your mind, if you have any sensory feeling or emotion, just write it down and start, working with that. Because the good thing about doing this system by system, I think, is help us really little by little start integrating all these parts and energies. And yes, we're gonna have this probably on our channels uploaded during the weekend, probably tomorrow, maximum on Monday. So we will let you know in the chats where it's uploaded into the channel, our channels.
Thank you, everyone. I guess there are no questions.
Okay. So next meeting, we're gonna need to let you know on the chat because we didn't see when. Now it's gonna be like crazy time, right? But Thanksgiving coming, Christmas, but we're gonna try to keep doing this, and so it's a learning process, and it's gonna be uploaded and being in our channel, so everybody can just access to it and keep learning and connecting whatever you feel like. But we're gonna trying to do it in the time that Barbara and we can, and sometimes probably it's gonna be during the week. But like I said, you can always can be like welcome to go to our channels and to access to the videos. Okay, if you don't have more questions, thank you so much to everybody, and see you next time with the Taurus and the muscular system.